right, just got the version 10.11.2 FSD Beta finally in the second wave. We're going to take our little route that tests most of the items out. So we're going to go into FSD Beta. You can see we just went in there. There's the blue steering wheel, and we're going to test this out. I already like the fact that there's items up above that went away. We'll test some of the other features later. I wanted to get the FSD Beta drive out of the way here. I don't like how it's going down the middle of the road and I've got a car here. I actually need to take over so I can move over, because the car was not going to move over at all. And again, instead of being on the right side of the road, it's down the middle. I have to take over. I don't like that at all. It was doing better before. Now we're coming up to our first difficult spot. This left turn is very hard because you can't see around the fence. So you gotta be ready to take over. There's a car right here and it's gonna go. So we haven't even gone a block and I've already had to intervene 3 times. So not a very good first drive with 10.11.2. That was a much better stop and go. Usually that corner makes us sit there for a long time because to the left is a little bit harder to see. So that's an improvement. Up here's the one difficult spot. This is the part of the road where there's actually not a lane in the middle to go straight. The left lane and the straight lane share each other. It's always given this a hard time. We'll see what it does right here. Yeah, you can see it's already going to the middle there. So we're gonna brake it and get back behind this car. Not sure why it thinks it needs to turn. So the car did go straight instead of turning left. That's a good thing. We're back to thinking that this is a stop sign again. We weren't having a problem here before, but right there, it now goes back to thinking that it's a stop sign. We're going to follow this car here, make a right-hand turn. I was going to say turn on the blinker in plenty of time, and then it turned it back off. That was a good right-hand turn. I like the fact that it's not freaking out because that car to the left was turning left. In the past, it would have slowed way down there, and that would have been an issue. It would have slammed on its brakes doing that. So nice stop and go. In the past, that's been a problem at that stop sign where it's sat there waiting and creeping forward. That was much better. Again, does a really good job at that stop sign, and then accelerating from the stop sign is very nice. Instead of a slow roll acceleration, it does a really good job. I really like how it handled that 4-way stop. It didn't sit there, it didn't creep forward. There were no cars there, so it did what it had to do. It came to its stop, and then it went through it. Unprotected left here. Stopping a little bit far back, and we're kind of crowding that to the right. Now we scoot. There is a car coming from the left. They have their blinker on. Now the car is going to creep forward. Now it stops because it sees the car. I actually need to give it a boost because we were out in the intersection. hitting the brakes for no reason there. We'll report that. One thing I am noticing, I don't know if you can see on the screen, but as cars go by, they turn into multiple cars, or semis in that case. So we might be due for a camera recalibration. I'll see how the rest of this drive goes, and then tomorrow we may end up doing a camera calibration on our drive to work and see if that helps with this at all. It is extremely windy, like it's blowing the car back and forth, but the car's doing well, staying in the center of the lane. Now this turns into a turn lane. We need to get out of it. In the past, the car has stayed in this lane far too long. I'm going to give it the blinker so that it moves over. I do like the new graphic, the new visual there, but it's stayed in that lane too long, and there were cars behind me, or I would have let it go like I have in the past. Okay. For those that are wondering, I do have my settings set on chill for the beta. For the navigate on an autopilot, I have it set at average, but this is all FSD Beta drive, so we are set at chill. I like the lane change right there, because after this light, the next light, we need to turn left, so the car was proactive enough to do it far enough out instead of waiting till the very last minute to do it. Very nice left turn off of that light. Very smooth, no jerky movements in there. Gonna go ahead and cancel and put in our last destination, and this should get us back to the house. We will go through a couple roundabouts on the last part of this route, and we'll see how it handles those. In the past on this route, it has tried to get into the turn lane too soon, so I gotta pay attention. It tries to get in here instead of after the little median, so we'll see how it does. It's already doing it. So there is a little median there. Now it can do it. So again, that little median sticking out almost took things out had I not known it was coming. And those things right there between the pulling out into traffic and the little funky turns like that are the exact reason that you should pay attention at all times when you're using the FSD Beta. It is in beta testing. It is a beta for a reason, but you do have to pay attention. This is not hands-off driving, hands-free driving. It is probably more work driving with beta than it is driving otherwise, because you're paying attention. Another very nice left turn. Trash cans in the road because of the wind. For those that are thinking about getting your windshields tinted, it's 7:30 at night here in northern Colorado, so it's starting to get a little bit dark, but you're looking through my windshield that is 50% tinted, so it's giving it a little bit, making it feel like it's a little bit darker, but it's not that bad at night. I kind of like it. It cuts down on the glare from cars approaching. Once you get used to it, it's not that bad. Let's just put it that way. Coming up to the first of the two roundabouts. This is a 2-lane roundabout. The car should stay to the left lane. It's gonna go to the right lane. I don't necessarily like that choice. I'm gonna let it play out and see how it does. Now it's gonna switch back to the left lane. It is stopping at the yield sign, no cars coming. I'm gonna give it a little boost. Not really, it's back to yielding or stopping at yield signs. For a while there, mine actually wasn't doing that, but there it decided to do it. It did good in the roundabout once it got in the roundabout, but it went to that right lane, then switched back to the left lane. I let it do it because there were no cars around, but had there been cars around, I would have had to take over and disengage. Here's roundabout number 2, same situation, need to stay in the left lane as we get into this roundabout. It's stopping way back here, no cars behind me, so I'm gonna let it go. Now I'm gonna give it a little bump through because there's a car coming up. So we'll go through, and the car should get in the center lane here. It does. This light turns yellow, which is good because I wanted to see how it stops. It stops way better than it has in the past. That would have been a hard braking situation in the past. It did much better there. Took off very well from the stopped light there. For some reason it thinks the speed limit is way lower than it is. And now it's just slowly going there. Now we'll finally speed up. It's kind of erratic on its speed up and slow down. I think I am going to end up doing a camera calibration tomorrow morning on my drive into work, and then I'll test it on the drive home tomorrow and see if it does any better. Now I can test how quickly it slows down. We go from 45 to 35 here, so I should go from 49 to 38. In the past, it's taken quite a long time for the car to slow down. I can see that it's applying some regenerative braking to slow down, but not very much. I mean, we are quite a ways past where it's slowed down to 35 before we get down to the speed that I want to be at. It was a lot faster than it has been in the past, but still not fast enough. Seems to me like the car is doing a better job managing brights and regular. In the past, I've noticed that even in this situation, at this light, the car would still turn the brights on in this situation, but it is yet to do that. Now we do have a left-hand turn coming up with a car approaching, so we'll see how the car does. If it stops and waits for this car, which it should. And it slammed on the brakes right there. I don't know what the heck it was doing. It could go way farther forward. I don't know why we slammed on the brakes right there. That was a good left turn, but I'm gonna report for that hard brake there. Now we'll have one more right turn and then we'll be about done. Very nice right turn, not herky-jerky. Gets into the area, but we'll see if it goes down the middle of the road again. And it is going down the middle of the road. I wish it would. Well, now it's kind of swerving in and out of the parked cars. Close to my home, I'm going to go ahead and shut it off. I think we've seen enough. I think overall there are some good things with this update, but there were quite a few things that they need to still fix. I'm going to do a camera recalibration tomorrow on my way to work, and then test it on my drive home tomorrow and see if it's any better. But that'll do it for this FSD video. If you like the video, drop a like down below. Make sure you're subscribed. Hit the bell button so you know when we drop new videos. But that'll do it for today's video. Get out, go drive, be safe, have fun, and be kind to each other. Thanks everybody, and we'll see you next video.